dirty nigga. Alright, who's grabbing bomb? Where you going? What's your name? Where you live?
Going in. Oh, actually, look on top of this first. Oh, last time? Yeah, what else y'all needed that, man?
I'm in the arcade. Looking at the sneaker store.
Oh yeah. Yeah, already that's a good spot.
Where'd they get you, Mahone?
Alright, fuck it, we out. We're going to A. Woo! They shooting at me. To my right.
From
Oh, they killed me. He's on top of the fucking, looks like arcade. I don't know what that is. It's like right in front of A. Like, yeah, straight up there. Up, like, straight around there. Around here, actually. Somebody's around.
Oh, he's in the sneaker store. It's 1v2. Yeah, the nigga was in the sneaker store.
Oh yeah, go that shit. Damn, son.
That P90 would have been it. That P90 would have did you some justices, I'm just saying. That shit was jumping like a motherfucker. I got bomb, going to A. I'm gonna chill out in the fucking whatchamacallit for a minute.
I'm gonna play a little bit of my franchise, everybody.
Fuck! He's shooting from his spawn, sniping.
Fuck out of here, nigga. Nigga's in the sneaker store. He's in the sneaker store on the bottom. 4v2. You're on that fucked up angle, man. One left. Plant that shit. Plant. Oh.
Man, I gotta go get the Ravens, man.
To your left.
I'ma hate to do it to him, but I gotta do it to him. You see that number 16-0, baby.
No. We actually don't see shit.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition.
Yeah, I'm streaming live on YouTube, so they probably hear y'all
Coach,
too.
as far as home field advantages go in the playoffs, there are few places tougher on a visiting team than this one.
And I'm streaming live to Facebook, so when you add me, you'll see it.
Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it'll be a great one. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line between the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos.
Got him.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I made the line.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, that was dangerous. Thrown into coverage, almost picked. but instead they'll keep it on second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Now the first carry here for Philip Lindsay. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run forward with Lindsay. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsay, 60 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after.
Oh, no.
And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by a Philip Lindsay touchdown run.
They said it was going to fill up.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Piece of shit. By the
There you go.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
One left.
From the 27, Jackson. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
He shot me from the yard.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first. And that
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead.
Good shit,
I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
McManus now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132 and a half.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Ready, ready. 18 Gator. Switch up, switch up.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Switch it up.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. X3, 218, chop. Ready.
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman.
Oh, he's on it. He's on it.
Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
That's it. Play.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And McManus able to put it through. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying, thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of playing into their hands. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Pulled in at the 24. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, 34 yards. And the Broncos push further out in front.
No way.
I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Extra point from McManus is good. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
He's a bear. So look at this.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that.
Finish and move.
This team knows how to work through things. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working.
There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
McManus's point after is good, and the round is on here in this first half.
Okay.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16.
Oh, barber shop.
And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10.
Where's the gunshot?
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Jackson to throw. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt, they have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
We gonna shut y'all down.
Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal.
Torrey Smith, watch him go. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Torrey Smith, 70 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
At 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And they're able to get the connection on a long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Andrews. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, Jackson has got it to Ingram, complete. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Broncos take over first down and 10. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half.
This nigga's on the
they
left.
have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football like on a spring. And each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they're trying to preach.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again. As his nightmare continues. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The chance of wasting this great starting field.
All right, boss, send me your info.
Oh, you out, bro?
This is 3rd and long.
Oh, you out too? Bro.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 18 yards and a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with the tight end, I
was saying Stephen Thomas, but just send me your name through Messenger on here, and I'll look you up because you probably not gonna be able to find me.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Jackson. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Tucker's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And Denver getting set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's...
Torrey Smith, watch and go! And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Torrey Smith. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they're really laser-focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
They have been dominant in this one. Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Jackson to throw on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get a look at Torrey Smith as he comes back out onto the field. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us.
Get ready.
1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
McManus's point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, but now it's third down. The Ravens on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is third and 10. He finds Roberts, complete. Tally that as catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place. And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. And Jackson throwing once more. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. The Ravens on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is third and 10. Jackson now. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better. And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg. And the difference is what? Well, your live conditions, right? Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice. We just pop it up there. And now off to the races down the right side. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 51 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it? It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win. They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal. And that can hurt the psyche of the team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it. And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw again is Jackson.
And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll.
There he goes, right side. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 77 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. One more time with Lindsey. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory. Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play.
Ready.
They'll come out in the pistol. No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows?
Let's go, baby.
Intended for Cortland Sutton. Incomplete. Result of the play is a turnover on down.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. To throw is Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why. And
they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Now McManus for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Well, the Lombardi Trophy would be nice to hoist. They have to hold off for that for a little bit. Right now, the Lamar Hunt has to feel good to hold.
Oh, it's got to feel great for them. And remember, Lamar Hunt helped create the American Football League, which became, of course, in most part, the American Football Conference. And he's the one who gave us the name Super Bowl.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles...
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You would joke like Chappelle show. This over perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You would joke like Chappelle show. This over perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, fuck the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You would joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You would joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. 10 steps instead. Snooze, I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make your next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just flow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My truly close to chill. So it's treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Let's go. Pepper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Story is treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just throw my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My doing it cold as chill. Story is treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Let's go. Get first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See that pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, this way, way before the deal.
I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. Don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rain, snow, sleet, hell. Keep it on me 'cause my name ring bells. People see me and can't help themselves. See me and themselves. I wouldn't wanna be anybody else. I never used to think I'd be a magazine cover. They keep on trying to find new ways to push my buttons. I came out of the jungle where it rained and it thundered, but I bring the heat like the summer. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. Don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rain, snow, sleet, hell. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib, ain't getting money. You gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining. I gotta be change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Blow your mind.
Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right. I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bad, but I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Ay. Why you do that like that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want. Yeah, call us dangerous, ain't too many can play with us. See where this game here taking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much, actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard, for your mom to your pop, to the beat, to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know.